So it appears that the long and really, let's be honest, painful sale of Declan Rice seems to be coming to an end. It's one that I've not, been looking forward to. It's been hanging around us for a long time, hasn't it? This cloud of Declan Rice's future, knowing that this summer was coming, knowing that it was likely he was going to go. And well, it's not going to be pleasant. But I'm going to be honest with you, like just from a personal standpoint, I'm actually relieved. I just want to just get it done, get it sorted out. I want to move on as a football club. I want us to start being excited for the new season. And this has just been a little bit of a painful one. But let's be honest, the club have dealt with it pretty well. And I think that the fact is that if it's concluding soon, which it appears to be, that gives us quite a lot of time. It does give us, it's quite early on in the window. So I'm overall quite pleased. So where we are at the moment is we've got an update from XWH employee on Patreon. But I just want to sort of go through this exactly where we are. So we've had 2 bids received formally from Arsenal, both rejected. I think the last one was worth around the £90 million mark. I think it was 75 plus 15 in add-ons, which we didn't believe to be realistic. So it was outright rejected. There is still some interest in this. It's not as if it's all going one way, okay? The fact is, West Ham value Declan Rice as it stands at 120 million. That's what they're sort of touting it at, which I don't think is unreasonable. I mean, it probably won't quite get there by the looks of it, but I think that's a reason. If you look at other players and other prices that have gone for, I don't think it's too bad. And bearing in mind, okay, West Ham are under absolutely no obligation to sell to a particular club. They don't have to do that. They can be strong. And I think they are being quite strong. I don't think they're just going to roll over. And I think they've shown that by rejecting Arsenal's bids to date. What is quite obvious, though, and what is coming out now, the news and from what we're hearing, is that they prefer... We've been saying this for quite some time. XWH employee has been reporting this forever, that basically Declan's preference is at Arsenal. He wants to remain in London. He's excited by the project there. It's where he wants to go. But that's not to say he's definitely going there. I believe he will. That's where I think it's going. But that's not to say that definitely will happen. The fact is that Manchester City, they are interested in Declan Rice. There's no two ways about it. Gundogan's sale to Barcelona has opened that door. It's excited a lot of West Ham fans because let's be honest, that's been our preference. Is if he's going to move on to another Premier League club, ideally somewhere like City. It's not too close to home. It's not going to be painful. Let's be honest, we've got quite a good relationship as fans with City, so it would actually be too bad. But I don't know. At the moment, it seems that Arsenal is the most preferred option for Declan. And it looks like if they can get the right offer in, that's where it's going to go. But I actually get the feeling, this is my gut feeling, is that Declan's representatives have sat down with Manchester City, with Pep Guardiola, and for what it appears that they're obviously very, very keen on Declan, but he's kind of made it clear as well that he's excited by the Arsenal project. I don't know whether that means City are going to walk away from this. I'm not convinced it is. I think City will still have something to say. I don't think they're just going to walk away from this situation. I wonder whether City are waiting now on Arsenal to make their final bid. By the way, Arsenal have made this clear that this third bid is going to be their final bid for Declan, and there is confidence from their side it's going to be accepted. But I wonder if City are going to say, I'll tell you what, you put your final bid in then. You say, let's just say Arsenal put in a bid in worth £100 million. And then City just come in and go, okay, we'll add 10 to that then, or 15 million, and we'll get the deal done. That's what I would do. If I was in City's position, and that is exactly the game plan I would have. I just think, well, let's just sit back, wait, and we'll just outbid Arsenal, and then they'll accept our bid, and then we're in a position where we could probably negotiate something. But as I say, the issue is Declan. That is the problem, isn't it? If Declan's reluctant to go to City and only wants to go Arsenal, it puts West Ham in an awful position, really. It doesn't help us at all. We don't want the player only wanting to go one club. We've had this before with other players, and it's really frustrating because we want the bidding war. We want to get the price up. We want Declan to be open to moves, but he clearly isn't. That appears to be the case. The interesting aspect of all of this as well is the fact that it's the situation with the money. Now, what's interesting with this is the fact that West Ham are being watched by UEFA. We're on the watch list for the financial fair play rules. I think we've been in that about a year. So West Ham are really keen to get money in fast because we want to spend money. We don't want to break any rules. We want to make sure that we've got the funds there. It's in cash in our bank and we can go and spend some money. We don't want to be relying on money that's going to be trickling in over a period of 6 years. With West Ham's stance, we want it in 2. Now, this is where it's going to be very interesting because what's quite obvious at the moment from Arsenal's 2 first bids is that I don't think they have that available. I don't think they have these funds just to go, there you go, we'll give you, 70 million up front. I don't think that's going to happen. I think City can. That's the difference here, and it will be very interesting. You can sort of foresee a bit of a fallout here happening within West Ham and Rice, because if Rice really wants to go Arsenal, but I end up, like I've said earlier in the video, when West Ham are under no obligation to do this. My stance is Declan's getting what he wanted. Declan wants to leave the club. He wants to move on to a bigger club. He wants to go and win, challenge for titles. I get that. Okay, I do get that, and it's painful as it is. I get that we can't challenge for Premier League titles. We're not there as a football club, and West Ham fans, I'm sure, will agree that that's the case. But the thing is, Declan, as I say, we don't have to sell to Arsenal. We're giving Declan what he wants to leave early, but he shouldn't be then demanding the club and making it difficult for West Ham then to go negotiate, because that's what it's doing. It's putting us in an awkward position. And our ex-WHU employee has stated, let's be honest, a really slim chance. I'm pretty certain this won't happen. But West Ham are basically saying, well, you're staying then. If you're not, if you're saying I'm only going to Arsenal, and they don't bid enough, well, then you're staying for another season. That's it. It's going to be interesting how this all pans out. I think this is my gut feeling. If Arsenal offer enough money and enough to be accepted, then that's where he's going to go. I think that's literally where we are at now. It's all in Arsenal's call. They have to put the right offer forward. Because as I say, my gut feeling is the City are watching that closely. Because if Arsenal come in and say, well, we're going to offer you 95 million, and that's the best we're going to offer, all it takes is City to come in and go, well, let's chuck another few quid on it. We're having him. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But obviously, as I say, this is crunch time now. This is D-Day, as we said on the video thumbnail. This is the moment now where I think West Ham want to get this wrapped up. There's reports coming out at the moment today that West Ham have basically told Arsenal, get your bid right, because we want to draw this line under this now. And rightly so. We've got things we need to do. This whole summer can't be taken over by Declan Rice. We've got other things to do. We've got bigger fish to fry. We've got Europa League coming up again next season. We want to have a season where we're not near the bottom. We want to be right challenging at the top. So West Ham have to get this completely right. I'm still really optimistic about this season. All right, I appreciate that losing Declan Rice is such a blow. It's nasty. It hurts. Of course it will. It's only natural. But we've known about it for a while. And Declan Rice isn't just West Ham. We're not a one-man team. We've got a good squad of players. If West Ham can use how we use this money, we've got director of football, Tim Steidten, which is soon to be announced as far as we understand it. That's exciting. We've got someone that can go out to the market and find these players. And let's be honest, probably knows a lot of players that can come into West Ham and do a good job. This is a good time for West Ham. Let's make no mistake. We're getting over £100 million here, by the looks of it, for a player that we didn't pay a penny for, come from our academy. Yes, it's painful, but we will move on. But at the end of the day, it's got to be concluded, and it appears to be. I think the next few days, my gut feeling is by this time next week, Rice won't be a West Ham player anymore. That's what I believe will happen. So thoughts on this really are, for me, there's a few things here. One is the Arsenal offer. Is it going to be acceptable? Because that, as I said, the issue is the money. Can they put the cash in our bank early? That's going to be questionable. That is going to be really questionable. They've already said that it's going to be spread over 5 or 6 years. West Ham want it in 2. That's a big jump. If they're going to suddenly go, oh yeah, we can do it in 2, I just don't see that. Maybe 3. Who knows? But they've got to come to something that's going to be more palatable to West Ham. And then obviously the one to keep an eye on is Man City. Of course, are Man City going to come and make their bid firm? I think they will. But let's wait and see. But I think West Ham are handling this really well. Actually, this so far this transfer window, and I appreciate it's still early doors, but I think West Ham have conducted themselves really well. We've rejected bids that are underhand, can totally lowballing us from Arsenal. We weren't being bullied because let's be honest, West Ham are not a good selling football club. We've not been good at it. I can't remember the last time we sold a player, and I thought we did really well to get that money. Most of the time, I can't get over how much the bids that we accept sometimes. So I'm glad that we're standing strong on this one. And I'm glad about the director of football. I think that's an exciting time. I want to see the back of this now. I really do. I'm ready to start getting excited about the new season. I want to start getting excited for players coming in and who we're going to bring. And this Declan Rice, let's be honest, it's just a bit of a cloud now. It's becoming a problem. It's been a problem for us. It's been a cloud for the last 2 years. But obviously now the season's ending, knowing that it was so highly likely Rice was going to go. It's just been daily, isn't it? Like all the time. Like every time you turn your phone on, every time you speak to people, it's just Rice. I mean, I've got Arsenal in my family. My missus is Arsenal. Can you imagine what I'm going through indoors? And my brother, he messages me all the time about it. And, it's just constant. What's going on with Rice? So it's one that I just want to see that it drawn a line under. I think there might still be a twist in it. I still think there might be. But if if I'm putting money on it, I think he's going to be an Arsenal player well, I reckon by mid next week. I can imagine this will all be wrapped up.